Welcome to my incredibly messy studio. This is what happens when I pick up sweet trash practice again, but I'm thrilled about it. I'm getting into my sweet trash journal after a weekend of pottering, and by pottering I mean I went to pottery. I also pottered at home, so nothing got done in the sweet trash this weekend. So I haven't done the things I'm tracking, so on repeat and the selfie. I haven't filled out my weekly, which I want to do because there's some stuff that happened that I want to note. And I succumbed to the temptation of some sticker books. This is entirely inspired by Katie Bryant. Katie Bryant has TikTok and she does Facebook Reels, and she'll often open a book facing away from her and pick a page, and then that's the page that she works with in her art journal. And that inspired the heck out of me. And then this was a must-have. The Ransom Note sticker book. Come on. How much fun is this? Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so junk journal cutouts. These are not stickers, they're cutouts. Super fun. So cute, look at that. These are pretty, super pretty. I'm still finding my groove with collage. I had a really fun experiment this past week with this collage. So this is a collage element, and this paper here is a collage element, separate from different purveyors of collage elements, and then the rest is painted. So I'm still finding my way with collage, but same with this. This is a collage element. This is a completely separate collage element. The background is a completely separate collage element, and then there's paint. So I'm, starting to feel my way around what works for me collage-wise. But I thought I would time-lapse also I adjusted or redid this painting. I just painted over it so that it felt like I wanted it to feel. I'll show you the before so you can see what changed here. So I'm just going to get into it and do my sweet trash, get it set up for the week. I usually do this on a Sunday, but yesterday was quite busy with pottering, so here we are on the Monday. I've got my weekly sheet for this week printed out. I don't need that for today. And then I've got my I should have printed this double-sided. Damn it. That's okay. I'll use this. I don't want to waste this. I'll use it. So what I might do is today's intentions will get some kind of a photo on the back, and then evening reflections will get some kind of photo on the back, and that will work for me. And then this is for my week ahead. You can see here how I use that. I printed this one bigger than I printed this one because I like having more space. So I'm just going to get into it, time-lapsed, and I'm going to do what it is that I want to do to finish out last week and get myself started for this week. So, first things first, I'm just going to journal, and I'm going to put some pretty music in the background so that you guys can just body double with me while you get into your own sweet trash journal.